In the early 60s, up to the early 60s, the officers going to Staff College were ex-World War II officers. And I believe the last few officers to go to Staff College in Camberley was Major Articular, Major Baha, and Major Kadirgama. Later on it was Major Jivasoma, that he was the last to go to, or the war officers. In the 60s, the time had come for the Sandhurst officers to proceed to Staff College. And of the first batch of cadets, Dennis Pereira was selected to go to Camberley. Anderson was selected to go to Queenscliff in Australia, and I was selected to go to the Defence Services Staff College in Wellington, India. Up to now, nobody had gone to Australia or to India, and we were the first officers to go. In fact, I was the first officer ever to go to Indian Staff College in Wellington. It's a beautifully located, Staff College is beautifully located in the hills of Kunur, Uti, in southern India, and it's a hill district. And at that time the commandant was Major General Sam Manekshaw, who became the Field Marshal later, who commanded the incursion into Bangladesh. He was a great commandant. He had fought in the Second World War. He was a Gurkha officer, well decorated, and he was one of those up and coming generals of the army who became Army Chief of Staff later. Somehow or other, there were three of us, myself, another friend called Harry Kapoor, who became later Lieutenant General, and another American officer, Captain Mastoris, and myself. Three of us, somehow or other, Sam Manekshaw liked us, and we would overstay in the mess every other night with the commandant. And he liked a good drink, and he liked to drink with a few officers. So I had a very good relationship with the commandant. So much so that later, in the 80s, late 80s or 90s, in the late 90s, when I visited Wellington as a retiree from Canada, General Manekshaw retired long before and settled in Wellington to spend his retirement. So I had the good fortune to see him. He was ill at that time. We had a very good conversation. My wife was with me at that time. And shortly after, a couple of weeks later, he died. So when I went to Wellington, when I visited Wellington, there were still two army officers who were majors at that time, who were students. One was Amal Karunasekara, the major, and the other one I believe was Kamal Gunaratna. They were majors at the time, and since I visited, the commandant gave them a holiday for the two officers to go and spend time with me. That was in Wellington, where I went later. Anyhow, the course in Wellington itself was excellent. Of course, we had very good memories of Wellington, and a good relationship with the commandant. So I came back it was 61-62 course, and I came back in came back in the December of 1961. The course was 60-61 course. And I was posted to the 1st Battalion, Ceylon Light Infantry Station at Panagoda. The commanding officer at that time, in late 61, was Lieutenant Colonel Richard Udugama, who was also coordinating officer in Jaffna. He had his headquarters in the Jaffna Kacheri. Now I'm coming to the time of the biggest event in Sri Lankan history, the Israel Army. There's the coup of 1962. It is unforgettable memories for me because I was totally unconnected with the coup. However, it had repercussions on me for some extraneous reasons, which I will explain as I go on. So the setting was, so I came back, I came back in September of 61 from Wellington, India, and I was unmarried, and it was every weekend, there was nobody at Panagoda. There were a few officers, everybody would go home. I had nobody to go home, so I would go to Colombo and stay in the artillery officers' mess every weekend. Spend the Saturday, Sunday and come back on Monday morning or Sunday evening. There I would meet more friends, particularly my friend Rodrigo was there, so we used to meet and greet and have a few drinks over the weekend. So that fateful day on January the 21st, 1962, on a Saturday afternoon, I volunteered to take the pay to Jaffna for the CLI soldiers who were stationed with General Udugama at Kacheri. General Udugama, I have been there before many times, and we had a very close relationship, and he enjoys my company, I enjoy his company. So we would stay in the Kacheri officers' mess. He would enjoy a drink with him more than anybody else. And that was a cause of bother to a lot of other officers who saw me being favored by General Udugama. In fact, I was. He would give me preferential treatment, and we were very close for the Diathalawa days. However, that Saturday afternoon, second in command, Jayavira could not get the okay from General Udugama for me to travel to Jaffna with the pay. So I, as usual, went to Colombo for the weekend. And I stayed in the officers' mess in Colombo for the night, Saturday night. Rodrigo was not there at that time, so I was just by my, I don't know who else was there, but we had a drink and I slept. The following morning I went to the church in Slave Island. That's on Sunday morning. And there I met Page Alex Navaratna, who was a staff officer at Army headquarters at that time. So he told me, do you know APR? There was an attempted coup last night. I said, what? He said, what, no man, some of the Army officers had tried a coup. No, he said police officers had tried a coup. Or something, if I'm unclear. I came back to the mess after mass, walked back, had breakfast. Then I walked through the window of the officer's base upstairs. I saw Sunday morning the army commander's car driving. That was General Vijayapur driving in. Then a number of officers would all come in. Very unusual activity in the morning or a Sunday morning. Usually deserted there, nobody there. And I wait for somebody to drop into Chatra. And then I found a few officers coming in. And one officer who came in was General Hine. He was Brigadier Hine. He was the chief of staff. And he had just handed over the CLI to General Udugama. So he saw me in the officer's base and asked me, what am I doing here? So by the time they had some knowledge of what had happened the night before, that there had been a coup or attempted coup. So being a CLI officer, he knew and he thought I might be unnecessary danger. So he asked me to call for a jeep from Panagoda and get back to Panagoda. So I connected that his sternness to me and the story I heard from Alex Navaratna that there had been a coup the night before and the army commander coming on a Sunday morning to the army headquarters. Mind the army headquarters and